أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back, brothers and sisters, to our open halaqah. Inshallah, today we will use the topic of the previous Jum'ah khutbah and review it, and also tie it together with the Jum'ah khutbah that will be given tomorrow, inshallah. If you remember, if you were part of the first khutbah here at the Masjid, we spoke about the mission, the task that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Musa alayhi salam, speaking in front of Fir'aun, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave his support to Musa and Harun when Allah Azza wa Jalla said, "Innani ma'akuma asma'u wa ara," that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was there helping both of them. And we saw the arrogance of Fir'aun and his nature through the conversation that he had with Musa alayhi salam. Time and time again, he would try to change the topic, he would try to speak about something else, but Musa alayhi salam kept on focusing on the message that he had received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this eats away at Fir'aun and his ego to such an extent that he loses control and he starts getting angry, and you can see in his speech it changes and it becomes threatening, and he says to Musa and everyone in the whole court, he says to them that if you take another god besides me, then I will put you in prison with the rest of the criminals. So this is some of what we covered in the previous khutbah, and inshallah this coming one we will be following that story, but there is a link that we need to touch on. What happens immediately after this is that Fir'aun now has been shook, and the way that he viewed himself or thought of himself before is very much a shattered image. So now he's relying a lot more on his private council, the people who are the nobles and chieftains. And he asks them many times, فَمَاذَا تَأْمُرُونَ? What do you suggest we should do? Or what do you command? And this is their own speaking. And they say, أَرْجِهُ, keep him, seize him, Musa alayhi salam and his brother, basically keep close eyes on them, making sure that they're not able to pull out a plot. And at the same time, they say, وَبَعَثْ فِي الْمَدَائِنِ حَاشِرِينَ, and bring recruiters from, or send recruiters to the lands, to the cities. And what are they supposed to recruit? What are they supposed to draw? يَأْتُوكَ بِكُلِّ سَحَّارٍ عَلِيمٍ. They will bring to you the most skilled magicians. The way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala phrased this is the word sahar. It is sigha mubalagha. It shows that they are very, very good at what they are. Just the word sahar, it is not just your magician that just started yesterday. It is someone that is very good at what they do. On top of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Alim, that they are really, not only do they have the experience, but they have the knowledge of the magic. In other places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala affirms and says, وَجَاءُوا بِسِحْرٍ عَظِيمٍ, that they came with great magic. Not that magic is good, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala acknowledged that these particular individuals, these magicians that were brought from all across Egypt, they were the best at what they did. In another surah you will find where it says يَأْتُوكَ بِكُلِّ سَاحِرٍ عَلِيمٍ, and that is different from يَأْتُوكَ بِكُلِّ سَحَّارٍ عَلِيمٍ. some of the scholars, they've said perhaps first initially when Fir'aun sent the message to the cities, they might have recruited just anyone. But then when they started realizing that the only ones that stood a chance against Musa alayhi salam and the magic, or what they thought was magic, would be the top, the elite magicians. And then when the magicians encounter Musa alayhi salam, all this time Musa alayhi salam is speaking to them, not just to them, but to everyone that wants to hear. He is giving reminders, calling people back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They become afraid. Even before the battle happens, they are already worried. Why? Because what Musa alayhi salam is threatening them with and what he's talking about is something that is different from the magic that they know. In the Quran, it is mentioned that when he says to them, وَيْلَكُمْ لَا تَفْتَرُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا فَيُسْحِتَكُمْ بِعَذَابٍ وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنِ افْتَرَى. Those words come from Musa alayhi salam just before they are about to battle. And the magicians, they turn to each other and they say to each other, this is not the speech of a sahir. A magician does not speak like this. There's something that is different. And in other parts in the Quran, it mentions that فَتَنَازَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ وَأَسَرُّوا النَّجْوَى, that they used to have this najwa, these secret meetings, these magicians, before the battle even happened. So this was in order for them to come united and stand in front of the people united. You remember how Fir'aun lost face in front of his close council? Now the people are saying out loud and publicly, لَعَلَّنَا نَتَّبِعُ السَّحْرَةَ, perhaps we will follow the magicians if they are the victorious ones. Notice how they do not say we will follow Fir'aun, they put the emphasis on the magicians. So now the magicians, they have an upper hand against Fir'aun, and they use it to their benefit. What do they say? When they approach Fir'aun, they say, أَإِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا, is there a reward for us if we win over Musa? And mind you, Fir'aun is not the type of person that you go and you ask, pay me for my work. Fir'aun, if Fir'aun will tell you that me not killing you is reward enough. So for them to speak like this and to say, أَإِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا, and in other parts of the Quran, it is not even posed as a question. They say, إِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا. Verily indeed we will get a reward, because they understand that this is a time, a position where Fir'aun is weak. And what does Fir'aun do? Because he's an evil man, he tries to flip it and he uses it for his own benefit. Not only does he promise them, he does not give them, he promises them that they will get the money that they ask. And he adds to it, he says, Na'am, yes, you will get that reward. وَإِنَّكُمْ إِذًا لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. Not only that, but then once you win over Musa, I will bring you closer to me. You will be amongst the close ones to me. When Fir'aun is speaking like this, is he doing someone a favor? Is he benefiting these people? Is he on their side? No. Because he wants to associate the magicians with himself, so that his status amongst the people or in front of the people remains. And this is why once the magicians start, what is the first thing that they say after they give Musa alayhi salam a chance? They say, بِعِزَّةِ فِرْعَوْنَ, by the honor, by the might of Fir'aun, we will be victorious. And they say that only because they are helping each other. So you have the magicians supporting Fir'aun and his evil, and this is a theme that we see many times in the Quran, and by that I mean good has its supporters and evil has its supporters. And it is very important as Muslims, as believers, to always stand up for good or at least support it. Sometimes you might be the spearheading figure and you'll be the one that is directing people towards good. But sometimes, many times, you will see other people, other opportunities of people doing good. And then the Muslim thing to do is to run towards those opportunities. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Race, compete with each other when it comes to the khayrat, the good. So this is that missing part that might not be able to be mentioned in detail in tomorrow's khutbah, but it is good for us to have some idea of what has just happened between last week and this week in the passages that we'll be going through, inshallah. But that it will be it for today's halaqah. And if anyone has any questions, now is the time to ask. Yes. The significance of Surah Al-Baqarah? Yes. Yes, Jazakallahu khairan. Surah Al-Baqarah, it is the longest chapter in the Quran. It is mentioned in specific hadith by name, and this is something that you don't find